Welcome to The Breakdown, the podcast where we talk to young filmmakers and discover the future of cinema. I'm your host, Angel Gonzalez, and today we are looking into a deeply emotional short film called Bed Sheet. It's an intense and intimate experience that is set in the bed of a young person who feels like the bed has become his world, and the bed sheets will tell a tale of heartbreak, substance abuse, isolation. With me, I have the director, Daniel David Kantarovich, and who's from Israel, and his right hand, Yeran Kim from South Korea, who was the assistant director to the project. If you're not familiar with the role of an assistant director, it's kind of like the one who manages the ship while the director makes artistic decisions. Someone has to yell at the crew and make sure everyone is at work. So this short film has not been released just yet at the time of this podcast. And of course, I will ask you later about your expectations for reactions from your audience. But for now, I think it's important to start with a quick overview of what happens in this movie.
I think the movie, in terms of plot, is very, very simple. You have heartbreak. It starts off with heartbreak, and then it goes into a downward spiral. A downward spiral in which our main character and the bedsheet, which are one in the same, break down emotionally and physically and become very messed up very quickly.
So from heartbreak into a spiral into darkness.
Yeah.
Okay. And Yeran, can you describe a little bit the process of making this short film? How was it from your point of view? How many people worked? How much equipment did you use? Like how many nights or days did you invest it together in this making of a short movie?
So in total, we dedicated our second half of this term solely to this film. Started off with Didi giving me this idea of bedsheet, and from there we created mood board plus sharing some references to make sure we're on the same page and talking about the same stuff. And from there we created storyboard, getting more concrete into what happens and what happens after this and what we actually see. And from that storyboard, we assigned a lot of other roles on the film sets. So we have multiple brains working at the same time. We had a director of photography, and this person will figure out what kind of equipment, what kind of camera, and sound will figure out sound, and director of art will figure out how the set will look like, and actually fetch all the items, put on the set, and make up the set. So Didi can solely work on directing and getting the image what he wants or the acting. So that's how it looked like on the set. And to make that work, I worked on the shot list. We broke down all the scenes we had, created a minute-by-minute call sheet. So because we had a lot in our crew, we had more than 20, I think. Yeah, so around like working with 30 people, we just gave them, okay, you pop in at 7:45 and leave at 8:15, so the logistics will be easier. And right now at this time, we're on our final edit, plus all the extra shootings. Ish. We just came up with our title for our film, and also final shots and audios. We're adding on top of everything. Yeah, so we're on the end.
And of course, one of the first things, because I've been working with you on the post-production, I've been watching these edits, and the first thing that occurred to me is where does the inspiration for this project come from?
The inspiration for the project is very personal to me. For me, it's some sort of examination of the life I had before I came here. Everything that happens in the film happened to me to some extent. It's an exploration of my journey from Jerusalem into Tel Aviv, my getting lost, my breakdowns, and my tendency to spiral out and get into those kind of situations. And I thought IPC for me is a healing environment. And I thought that if I attack the experiences that happened to me in an artistic format, I might be able to solve them. I didn't, but I tried.
So you're digesting your past in this short film.
Mm-hmm. Trying
Okay.
to.
Okay. You worked as a team, and you don't necessarily agree on everything. Would you, Yaron, would you point out some of your disagreements, either artistic or logistic or about casting or something that occurs to you?
Yeah? Point
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Can you find anything?
So yesterday we have to come up with our final title for a movie, and we debated for like hours. This was the hardest thing to decide when it comes to disagreement with Didi, and for this whole half term, I kind of figured out how to convince this person and sort of manipulate. So I gave him, okay, see, listen, let's hear from different people as well. Let's hear some different opinions. So I named him a couple different people and asked them bed sheet versus sheet. And come on. I know
Sheet is a risky name because it could be easily
Exactly.
mispronounced.
Thank you. See? And that's how we ended up listening to different people. But other than that, we agreed on 3 trillion things. We disagreed on every single thing we did. And it was also part of my role to disagree with Didi. And when he goes for another take, and we have a realistic time limit, resources, and actors, so I had to cut him off at some point every time we shoot, and just bring him down to earth. Let's get this over. We need to do this by tonight. At the last day of our actual main shooting, we ended up finishing at 1:30 a.m.
On a normal class day?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But Bed Sheet has been the final title,
yes.
Yeah.
which is quite close to the working title that for a while was. And Bed Sheet, it is the metaphor that we if you watch the short film, you will definitely understand the meaning behind it. It's a character in itself, and it reflects the journey and the heartbreak and all these transformations emotionally inside of the character. It is a a clear
she
title.
Enjoys it.
But on the other hand, of course, Bed Sheet does not indicate the mood of the movie on the first. If someone I just made a short film called Bed Sheet, right? You would not immediately assume, oh wow, there's parties and there's crazy stuff happening and a lot of pain and suffering and crying and so it hides all of this inside of it.
Yeah, but I want to add one more thing to our disagreements, that it's not always me trying to bring down him. It also works the other way as well.
Yeah,
When I'm
I
going
need to
crazy,
lift her up.
this person brings me down. And at most of the time, it enriches the outcome. Because we debate until we reach the agreement.
And what do you think is going to be the reaction of your audience, of your friends, of your family when they see this short film?
Hopefully shocked, and at least a bit empathetic. Yeah. What do you? Yeah.
Yeah, like every time during this edit period, like every time I know what happens in every second of this movie, but every time the movie finishes and goes to credit, I feel extremely sympathetic, empathetic towards our main character. And I hope it will happen to every our audience.
Yeah. I also feel currently in the current edit that I'm a bit out of breath at the end. I'm a bit like gasping for air. And I think it's a good emotion that we can keep, because that's the story. The story is suffocation. The story is drowning in a bedsheet, essentially. So, yeah.
Alrighty, so if you haven't had the chance of watching this short film yet, which should be out by the time we release this podcast, prepare to be shocked, prepare to experience maybe some empathy for the character and for the bad sheets, and thank you for creating this journey, this experience. I wish you both a rich and fulfilling career in movies, if you decide to go in that direction, or arts in general. It depends what specialty. This short movie will be available on our YouTube channel, the students' YouTube channel of International People's College. So if you just type on YouTube IPC Student Movies, you will definitely find it there. Thank you very much, and goodbye.